I've been having fun with the zero gravity gimmick for many years, and I've done a bunch of different kinds of levitations or suspensions with this gimmick. Originally, when I worked out sort of the mechanics of it, it was a lot more complicated, and this is something I mentioned time and again on my DVDs and projects. Is it's amazing how long it can take to take an idea and slowly refine it and get simpler and simpler and simpler. And now you have a gimmick that uses ordinary items and that can be set up in such a way that it can make sure it's not in the way of the rest of your performance in any way, okay? And then when you want, you can set it up and do a really amazing suspension of a borrowed item. It's the kind of thing, something about suspensions and levitations that are very mythic for people, very powerful. Now the gimmick involved in this is this. And it looks crazy and weird, something that you shouldn't show in public. But all I've done is I've got a safety pin, okay, and I've knotted to a length of black elastic. And this is an experimental thing, whether you need 5 inches or 9 inches of elastic. It really depends on how high up in the jacket or your sweater or sweatshirt you're going to clip this in. Obviously, if you clip it just a little up the sleeve, you're not going to need as much length. If it's more towards, some people like something that's more on the shoulder blade or even on the sort of just over the shoulder on the back part of a jacket or something up inside the sleeve. If you're going to do that, then you're going to need more elastic. So it is experimental, that part. You're going to have to figure out the length of your arm and all that. But once you mess around for maybe 5 minutes, so it's this length of black elastic. And then what I've done here, and you can use duct tape or masking tape or whatever, is I've taken the other end of the elastic, tied a knot in, okay, and then wrap tape around it. So now this, I mean, if I were to use all my superhuman strength, I'm sure I can rip it off. But in a normal performance situation, that's not going anywhere, okay? And then I have a popsicle stick. Just a simple, regular popsicle. Popsicle stick, length of elastic, and a safety pin, all right? Now it's about placing it in your sweatshirt. Let me get this set up. So I've set up the gimmick inside the right sleeve of this sweatshirt. Now notice there's a whole bunch of things. First, what I like is I can have my sweatshirt literally the sleeves up, okay? I can pull up the sleeves, do some sleight of hand, coin stuff, some mentalism, some card stuff, whatever I want to do with the sleeves rolled up, and it really emphasizes how fair everything is, okay? Now, I wouldn't suggest just before you do this trick you pull your sleeves down. It might look a little suspicious, but maybe a trick before, particularly if you're doing something mentalism, which obviously doesn't involve any sleight of hand, that'd be the perfect time to hike your sleeves down. Now, of course, if you're wearing a jean jacket, a sweatshirt, an Adidas jacket, a coat, a winter coat, any of these things, plenty of opportunity. Maybe not on, maybe this isn't the best trick to do on 4th of July weekend when everyone's wearing just t-shirts, right? Other than that, there's so many opportunities. Now, I've clipped it. Got the clip up just up in here, sort of around my armpits, running down. And what I like to try to do is have it set up that even though the popsicle stick is out of the way, whenever I want, I can drop my hand down here, and the end of the popsicle stick is only about here, okay? Which means that I can reach in with finger and thumb, grab hold of it, okay, and pull it directly out of my sleeve to my fingers. Okay, so it's not. Sometimes when you're using a pull, which is what this is called, the item will be way up the sleeve and you won't be able to retrieve it. It's basically only good for an opening effect, unless you're doing stage magic and you leave the stage or whatever. But here, I can actually do magic or have someone shuffle the pack or have some slightly misdirected thing going on, and just by bringing my hands together at my waist, I can reach up the sleeve, grab this, pull it down, and be set up. So this is a great thing to do. Where I love to use this is particularly nice as an opening effect doing walk-around magic, because I can just have that just up the sleeve, walk up, do something amazing, visual, simple, requiring very few words, and immediately go into the rest of my show. So what's the setup? I need to have that manageable there, and I have a dollar bill, okay? Now, I've done this with napkins, I've done it with dollar bills, I've done it with a takeout menu. You could do this with a takeout menu at a pizza place, whatever you want, okay? So here. Now, with Canadian bills, I'm slightly limited. American bills and euros are much better because Canadian bills, we have this weird window, so I have to keep that into account. But all I'm going to do is fold this in half, okay? And I'm going to have the gimmick, okay? I'm going to pull the gimmick out, put it in the middle of the bill, okay? And now hold the whole thing like this. There. So now this looks to all the world. I can walk up to a table, say, hey everybody, can I borrow a cell phone? And all I'm doing is holding what looks like a folded bill. It's angle proof. Nobody can see inside the fold, and I haven't even folded it you could have a folded prediction, okay? Like I said, paper napkin, dollar bill. There's pretty much anything foldable, okay? That can be at my side, and I'm good to go. There's nothing to see. I can walk up, hey everybody, how you doing? My name's Jake, and I borrow a cell phone. Or I've also done this with an ashtray. I've even done this if it's a short, wide mouth glass. I've even done this with a glass of water, okay? But again, you can kind of be careful. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cell phone, okay? And I'm going to put it on top of what looks like an ordinary folded bill. Right? Now, there's lots of ways to get in this. My favorite way is for me to say, can I borrow your cell phone? Say, I'm going to hold both ends of the bill. Okay, and it looks exactly like I'm just holding the ends. And I say, I want you to carefully balance your phone. Just put it right on there like that. And it's great when a spectator is able to lower this on top here, okay? And I'm holding the ends of the bill, and that way there can be that tension, right? Alternatively, I can have this hold it out there. I can balance the cell phone, say here, on the, I'm just trying to make sure, because you only want it there for a beat, okay? So now it's balanced on there. I can put it there, sort of support it with my hand, move my hand around, and get into this great position. So everyone's set up, but there hasn't been any obvious magic yet. Then I go watch. 1, 2, and I'm very tentative about this. I go like this, and I go this on 2, and then 3, I go like that. And I show it on all sides. Now, of course, people know the cell phone was just borrowed, so there must be something suspicious about the bill. They're assuming. So I only let it float or sort of suspend 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000. Then I immediately want to be able to hand everything out, because that's what takes this from a cool looking trick to a real miracle, right? So all I do is I tip, either I take this off, or what's fun to do is if the spectator's standing right there and they say cup your hands, and you can spill. You spill the, you sort of tip, and you tip the phone right back down at their hand. And the moment, of course, I let tip, I just release my grip, and what happens is the gimmick now, which is here, the gimmick goes shooting up the sleeve. It goes up the sleeve, and you end up, but it looks like nothing's happened. It's a very subtle use of a pull. Rather than being obvious, it sort of subtly takes away the gimmick, and then you get to have this beautiful moment where you get to then turn the bill over, hand in the bill, and show your hands empty. Okay, so like I said, it's a great opening effect. I have done it with a borrowed bill for sure, and that's cool, but I think as long as they can examine the piece of paper, the napkin, the prediction, the bill, I think that's all that really matters. And as an opening effect going up, can I borrow this, can I borrow that? But however, of course, if you're going to use it with a borrowed bill, you're going to have to be a little more careful, right? Obviously, you're going to have to get the gimmick first, like I said. Reach up the sleeve, pull the end down. Going to have to borrow the bill, say, great, can I borrow a cell phone too? And sort of on the offbeat, you're going to have to kind of, almost like as you fold the bill, you're going to come in, grab the popsicle stick here, move the hand around, and then like this, okay? So we'll take, but as long as they're not burning your hands, as long as they're getting a cell phone, or it's no big deal, you're standing here, there's certainly ways to do it, and I've done it for sure. I've turned, I'm in a crowded bar doing magic, I'll turn to somebody else and say, oh, don't worry, I'm going to show you something, and while I turn, then I come back around, and I'm all set with their bill, okay? But I think it's enough to use your own bill, have it all set up, walk up, do that really shocking levitation, immediately then let the pole do its secret work, pulling it up the sleeves, okay? Then hand everything back, everything can be examined, of course, and you can say, now let me show you something where I'm going to actually do something with a pack of cards, and just hike up your sleeves and sort of locks the gimmick safe and sound away, and you are good to go.